I'm Dr. C. Victor Herman III, and I am about to take it to the house. I'm 17 seconds away from taking the house. After my co-host introduces himself, I'm taking off on this proverbial asphalt, leaving nothing but tracks and skid marks because I'm so hot. I'm fired up, and when we were in that green room, trust and believe, I've been revving. Go ahead, let him have it.
I'm Dr. Tim Hoover, and I'm taking to the house. First, we want to thank y'all for joining us, but we got something to get off our chest. We got a little bit of something to get off our chest. So I'm gonna toss the mic back to you, and I'm gonna feed off you, brother. Have it.
I'm gonna tell
Go
you
ahead.
one thing. I am
Go
so
ahead.
hot. You know, I hate caring so much about a sport and a team when a team doesn't seem like they care enough to the point where it messes my mood. That's messed up. Messing up my weekend.
Mm.
I'm over here talking to my lady, and she's wondering why I got this saltiness in my tone. Why I got a little bit of twinge of an attitude. Why I look like I'm kind of being distant, like confrontational, like I want some. Look, I had to check myself. I said, okay, what is bothering me? You know what's bothering me, bruh?
I know. I already know. Tell
How
the
those
world,
damn Lakers, man, do this to me? I
man.
mean, bruh, I am trying to regulate my emotions right now because I am furious. I'm furious to the point I don't even want to watch tonight's game. I may not even want to watch game 6, assuming we win tonight.
Man,
Because you
I'm
don't
gonna
have,
interject. I'm gonna jump in right there.
go
I'm gonna jump
ahead.
in right there. I am with you. I am almost to the point, and I'm as angry as you are, boy. I can chew nails right now. I'm upset because they're not meeting my expectations. I am a customer, and as a customer, I have expectations, and they're not being met. I almost wish they lose so I can enjoy the rest of the playoffs. I'm not enjoying this right now. I am that dude. But I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut in, but I did.
Now
Please
you
go
there
ahead.
because you're with me. You're absolutely right. It's like, let's go ahead and end the season so I can really enjoy the basketball because I'm too vested now. Just stop it. Because don't say you're not the worst. They're the better team. That's what pisses me off. Look, for the last 4 or 5 years, we've been playing teams. 8, 9, 10 seed, try to get to 8 to 7, and this wishing that we have a somebody that rolls over enough so we can be competitive. We have a third seed team. Easily could have been second seed. Gold State just took care of Houston. I was like, Houston is popcorn muscles, man. I'm already still
Mm.
had suspect on OKC. I'm like, we're number 3. We should be the top dogs. Not one of those games we lost should we have lost. You tell me the last 2 games, bruh, you got Luka with the bubble guts. Got it. But even he was able to perform. And then you got this last game, man. We had the lead, bruh. 10 points. Like, I don't know what JJ decided he needed to have all hands on deck. It wasn't game 6. It's not game 7. Like, all
Right.
hands on deck. You
Right.
got a 10-point lead. Let the boys take a break, take a breath, take a knee, and get back in there and finish the game. Like, I don't understand. And then the GOAT making some careless mistakes down the stretch, man.
Fatigue.
The inbound pass,
Fatigue.
they're being lazy, lackadaisical. Like, come on, man. Like, do you want to play ball or not? No one's scared of you no more. The
Fatigue.
Lakers
Yeah.
are a championship caliber team. But that crap we've been watching, bruh, I'm going to take that pause now before I drop a 4-letter bomb and an FCC ban. So go ahead, bro.
All right. So I've had a little bit of time to simmer down. I'm as angry, as emotional as you are. And let me help you. Maybe it helps us all in Laker Nation as a whole. I think we are who we are. We got to bear in mind, too, that the West was vicious. What is 1? Is it really a 1? And who is 8? Are they really an 8? It's that competitive in the West. That's how I can accept. That's my first case in point. Are we a 3? Or are we really maybe an 8? I don't know. That's my second point. The other point is JJ Redick is a rookie coach. Okay, love him, love his intelligence, if you will, love his coaching acumen. But it's a rookie coach, and he's learning as we go. That's case number 3. Maybe I'm at 4 already, but the playoffs are a different beast. JJ had to work with a team that had Anthony Davis, no longer Anthony Davis, a team with Luka, but he didn't even suit up immediately, and now a team with Luka. And there was a transition phase. So he hasn't really had a whole season to work with this team. I'm not making excuses. I'm not making any excuses. I'm just making a case for, are we really that third seed? I think I'm like you. I believe in what I'm seeing. I drank the Laker Kool-Aid, but I don't think I've been fair. Not to me, not to the Lakers. I don't think I've been fair. And being fair is, we should understand. Oh, my other case, I'm sorry, before I go into that, is the Minnesota Timberwolves minus Karl Anthony Towns. They were in the Western Conference last year. So if you talk about earning your stripes and having to burn and the gain and to grow as you go, they have done that. So they are a very prepared team and could have easily been a third seed if they hadn't played around, some of the season. So I don't. This game, this matchup is not really favorable for us because they're young and they're hungry and they don't give a damn about the name on the front of the shirt, nor do they give a damn about the name on the back of the shirt. They just want to hoop. And guess what? The Lakers are in their way. So we have to take the emotion out. We do. It's hard to do because we're invested 40, 50, 60 years invested into this team. But we have to take it all. Let's look at the facts. And the facts speak for themselves. Um, there's no mistake that we made a mistake. JJ made a mistake in playing his players in the last 12 minutes when you got a 40-year-old and somebody who's just coming off a nausea, vomiting, sickness. You shouldn't have done that. But in retrospect, what if it had worked? We're not making this conversation today. He gambled and it just didn't work. He gambled that they were going to have a couple of days off to prepare for this next game 5. So it didn't work. But if it had worked, and remember, we were up in the fourth quarter. We were up even in the last few minutes. And then we just kind of just folded because of fatigue. So we can't be that guy. We shouldn't be. You and I are both know that it doesn't come down to one play. It doesn't come down to it comes down to the whole game in game management. And I go back to JJ being the rookie coach. It is the playoffs. If it's a different beast, and I think he's overthinking it.
So, with what you said, I love your point. Would you say then the Lakers have overachieved this year based off of those variables? Two different rosters from what JJ started off with. You're right, you can get Luca. And then in between the Luca and LeBron melding period, LeBron goes out for about what, 2, 3 weeks? You lose Rui for a good 2, 3 weeks.
Right,
So
right.
would you say objectively, taking everything out, that
Yes.
we overachieved with a rookie coach and that this was
So,
the season?
so no, I think our record reflects who we are. We everything being even. No, we earned this. It wasn't given to us. We earned the third seed. Played hard, and for stretches, you saw the game that we can play, but the game that we play to be successful is not sustainable. It requires switching constantly. It requires gang rebounding. It requires everybody being on one thread and moving at the same time. There can be no mental lapses, and there can be no stupid physical lapses either. The margin for error is very, very small. And guess what? We can't sustain it when you don't play your big man because he can't score, can't switch. Well, that's a problem. Then we need to guess what? We need to rotate. We need to get rotations in, and our rotation I thought was sound. When you can bring Gabe Vincent off the bench, you can bring uh, uh, Vanderbilt off the bench, good energy, and Jackson Hayes has that good energy. I just don't. Again, I think JJ is probably over his head. He is being outcoached right now. And we can have the two of the best players, but the better team, all fairness, the better team is Minnesota. So we're going to have to play above our heads to win this series and to go forward in the playoffs. That's just being honest. And so, again, is it sustainable? We're asking for a 40-year-old. We're asking for Luca to play with the team that he really just came together with. We're asking Rui to still knock down the open shot. We're asking for AR, bruh, you are wide open. You can see Spalding and David Stern or whoever his name is, all commissioners on the damn basketball. You could see it, and you still missed it. You were making everything else, but fatigue is a factor. So let's give credit to Minnesota. Okay, Anthony Edwards, no, he don't care who you are. We got to give credit to them, and they are not necessarily being out physical. They're just more of them, that young energy, and they just keep coming with that same energy. We cannot match that energy over a long. That's why we needed to finish early, and so because we're not, I expect us to lose, whether it's tonight or the next. I don't expect us to win because we should have won it early when we had let's say our energy with us.
That's a good point. Going into the series, you expected us to win, and did you think before playoffs started that we had a team to make it to the Western Conference Finals?
Yes, yes. But again, that's what my liquor colored glasses on. That's what me and the Kool-Aid. But looking at the playoffs, yeah, man, you mentioned it earlier. The path to the Western Conference Finals, if it was going through Golden State, if it was going through Houston, and then OKC, I like those odds. I did, considering when we were playing at our peak and at our best. Yeah, we'll take on any of them. We could match up favorably with Golden State, but anybody else is that youth, bro. We have a problem with youth. We have a problem because they just keep coming. They don't know better, and they just keep coming, and that's our problem. Case in point, we're up 10 points, bro. Fourth quarter, we're up 10 points. Why we want to take the air out of the ball? Because we're trying to save ourselves, save our energy, instead of keep attacking, keep attacking, keep attacking. You and I mentioned it in the green room. Go to the rim. Why are we shooting threes? Get to the foul line. They're tired. They're tired. And here comes Minnesota. I'll pull up a three. Oh, Luka can't guard me. Oh, you got AR Reeves. He can barely guard me. I miss, we miss, they miss. That's okay. We're going to get a second, maybe a third chance because y'all are tired. I'm going to keep coming. I don't know better. And Minnesota, they know enough because, again, they were in the Western Conference Finals last year. But give them credit. Give Coach Finch, give them all credit. They are hungry, probably hungrier than us. And somebody may have read too much of their own clippings in LA.
Good point, like that. And you're right. It's hard to watch, and I'd rather it got blown out. Those Denver series a couple years ago, when they're just handling us the business, you almost get to the point like, hey, I gotta accept this. It's when we're losing games because we're up, and like to your point, it's almost inexplicable. But when you break it down and saying, look, they're settling for the 3 points because they're tired. They don't want to run. They don't want to run this full 78 feet of this court.
No,
They can settle
no.
back here, do this thing. Legs get tired. So seeing it from that
If
perspective,
if if we had Luka all year and we were the third seed and JJ had Luka the whole year and knew how to incorporate everybody to include the rotations, I would have probably have a different take. But this is high intensity, high leverage basketball being played right now. Coaching coming out of timeouts in the quarters, those that all matters. X's and O's matter more now than ever before. Yes, we earned the third seed, but the other people could have just as easily have earned third seed as well. Hey, look at Golden State. Are they truly what is that, the sixth seed? Are they truly, you know?
yeah, 7, yeah.
And they want to bust somebody's chops right now, So great playoffs, but when we take and look at things objectively, when we take the emotion out of it, it really breaks down. It's more digestible. We're still not going to like it. I don't expect us to. And Laker Nation, I don't expect you to. We want to win. We expect to win. And we're spoiled like that. That's okay. But the truth is, we're not very good. We're not very good right now. And I don't know what if the window is closing because of LeBron, but maybe another window or door would open because he's gone. And I've been in favor of him leaving even before, because I feel as though he's stunning others' growth right now. Honestly, love him, love him. I love him as a man and as a Laker. But for him to concede, which he just did when Luka came, was something we asked for a couple of years ago with AD or whoever. So that window is closing because you just can't flip the switch, turn it on, turn it off, and all of a sudden now it's high leverage game. And then you're playing 12 minutes in the fourth quarter. You throw a bad pass because of mental fatigue, physical fatigue, and these other guys, they're like piranhas. I'm talking about Minnesota. They're like piranhas. OKC, piranhas. Houston, young energy, piranhas. The only team that ain't going out with all that energy like their own sugar is Golden State. They're no, they're sitting back. You know, everybody else is on Similac and Pedialyte. No, Golden State is on cognac. Okay, they're chilling. But give credit again to Minnesota.
Good stuff. Well, switching to the Eastern Conference, man. What you think? I mean,
Oh,
surprises over there?
well, I would love to hear what our producer has to say. So, for those who don't know, Steve, our producer, is a huge Boston fan. So he was, puffing his chest out, popping his collar when they won last year. But I will tell you, before they won, even after they won, he wanted to get rid of Tatum or Brown. Somebody needed to go. I want to know what he has to say right now. But I can tell you what he want to say. He's spoiled too. He's spoiled too. Oh.
I'm glad we recorded.
Mark the tape. He said he was wrong. I have never heard him say he was wrong. Never. So mark the tape.
Yeah.
So the Eastern Conference Finals, excuse me, I'm ahead of myself, but it's going to come down to me, Boston and Cleveland. Wow, we are in for a treat. Cleveland wants that smoke. They want that smoke. Boston is prepared to give that smoke. I am a Jason Tatum fan. Love his game. I don't see any flaws in his game, honestly. Inside, outside, off the dribble, the three-pointer. He can set up his teammates. He doesn't mind getting the rebound. I don't see any flaws in his game. Jaylen Brown, the only flaw he has, he thinks he's a guard and he can dribble, and he turns the ball over on his dribble. But he was a Finals MVP last year. You got Porzingis, you got White, you got dogs over there. You got Al Horford approaching 40, bruh, but still contributing at a high level and a deep bench. And yes, I'm a Laker fan, and I'm giving kudos to Boston.
And game recognized game. Game recognized game, and excellence recognizes excellence. And Boston Celtics are displaying a level of excellence, professionalism as defending champs. You would have thought they don't have a championship. They're
going to run it back.
Defending champs.
They're going to run it back.
They are defending champs looking hungry, as you spoke about, the same hunger, the Wolves, OKC. Boston is playing like that. Like, look, I ain't the damn champ. Y'all want my doggone champ. You're not getting it. Yeah. Get off my lawn. Come get some. Like, that's how they're playing. So when I compare that style to what our Lakers have showed, Lakers, you ain't got nothing. You ain't in your play-in tournament series couple. Like, what are you talking about? Like, to your point, game recognized game. Them being our rival and we're groomed to not like Boston, got it. But I do recognize what they're doing right now is phenomenal.
Staying in the Eastern Conference, though, man, I think Detroit has been jobbed, man, in their series against the Knicks. And I think Detroit is their better team, believe it or not. However, that inexperience, not having been there before, it's catching up to them. To include Bickerstaff not being too emotional. I need him to calm down just a beat. But I will not be surprised if Detroit advances past the Knicks. But the Knicks are supposed to win that just because of experience alone. But they're banged up, they're hurt, and at times they play too much iso ball that it's killing them. Where Detroit don't mind. And I will make another statement. Cade Cunningham at 6'6". Uh, he is that dude. He reminded me, and I'm not going to say he's Kobe, but I'm going to say he reminded me of Kobe because what was it, game three? It was game three. He had, no, game two, I'm sorry. He had one thing on mind, and that was just scoring the ball. He wasn't thinking about facilitating. He wasn't thinking about doing nothing else. If anybody else scored, cool, you want to score because the ball just found energy. It found you. But he was going to score, and he willed their team to that game two win. And I loved it because, and he showed, I don't care Mikal Bridges. I don't care Ananobi, whoever you want to put on me. I don't care if you want to put Gary Payton on me. It don't matter. I'm talking about Gary Payton 1 and not 2. Okay, it don't matter. He was going to take him, and he was going to take him hard. And he kept going, kept going, kept going, and he willed them to that game 2 win. I love his game, and I love his attitude. And surefire all-star, and he's going to continue to take Detroit to new heights as they taste this first postseason in years. Love what they got going on there with in that series and that game. But they've been jobbed, man, in that series.
And that's what you don't want to talk about. You don't want to have a situation where you have a great series, you got great up and coming talent, and then always have to go ref show. Like,
Right.
are not supposed to even be a factor in any conversation, newspaper article, highlights on like they should not be a factor. You and I should not have to be here, the barbershop, anywhere else saying, "Oh, that's a great game," but
Yes.
oh, what did you think about that? Oh,
Right.
it
Right.
takes away from that love, man, and
Right.
you don't want to start thinking about, okay, who's getting paid off. I mean, it's just you don't want to
Yeah.
create that narrative.
Right. Yeah. You don't even want to think about those things. Yeah. Agree. OKC, going back to the West, OKC uh, summarily dismissed whoever was in their way. It was roadkill. But back with Denver and the Clippers, bro. Have you been paying attention to what's going on over there?
Wow. That that is a Tyson Holyfield. That is, that is, Muhammad Ali, George Foreman. I mean, that's some look for a 4 or 5 seed. What a great matchup. Because that is must-see TV. That is one of those, ooh, let me turn this off and turn that on. Like these dudes, it wasn't until, I said I was out of town a couple of days ago. So I'm thinking, okay, Clippers up. They got this thing. I wake up and I see, dang, Clippers down 3-2. Whoa, what is that? Because you got the return of the Claw and Kawhi. You got a whole upgraded James Harden. It doesn't seem like the contentious one that was in Philly or Brooklyn. Like this dude is like a whole nother. They, like you said, old heads drinking cognac. Those are cognac drinking dudes too. But yo, where did Denver come from? I picked Denver to go out like 4-1. One, losing their coach. Two, they're just so discombobulated. I did not see a 3-2 matchup right now with Denver up, man.
Jamal Murray is the difference. Jamal Murray is playing like an all-star that he's never been. He is playing, he's decided to show up now. And that is the difference. Yeah, you're right. Kawhi is balling. But let's not forget about Westbrook over there, man. He is knocking down the middies. He's knocking down the three for that energy. Surefire Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Famer, if nothing but energy alone. And he is needed for that team. And so we as a Laker fan, we was like, oh, don't shoot, don't shoot. No, they don't care. They embrace it. And he's gonna clunk some, he's gonna make some mistakes, but bruh, his energy is exactly what they need. He's on the right team, and his characteristics and his traits fit that team very well. So Denver is not the Denver that fired the coach. This is a different team. I don't know if it's Adelman that's coach, the new coach, the interim coach. I don't know if it's him or it's that veteran switch or that proverbial switch that is flipped. It's game time, and Aaron Gordon and LeBron and Michael Porter Jr. I don't know. They flipped a switch and they're playing ball because the Clippers, we thought, were the better team. No, Denver said, no, slow down. Hold on, partner. It ain't that kind of party. But if you want some smoke, and speaking of smoke, the energy, the physical play in the playoffs right now, And that's the reason why the Lakers we need to be more physical. Remember that second game two after we lost game one, we came out and remember how many fouls there were. Look at how many dust ups has been in every other series. People ready to scrap because they're letting them like NASCAR exchange paint, baby. It's just trading paint. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, that's back to the 80s, 90s, stuff. But you just showed something. There is a glaring missing asset on the Lakers team, which is that physical bruiser player. Who is the one
Yep.
that you're supposed to fear?
Yep.
Now, I don't
Yep.
need you to fear because I'm gonna shoot, these 3 points and score 30 in your grill. Now, I need who you gonna fear like that old school Rasheed Wallace. Who you gonna fear like that old school Charles Oakley? Like
Even
even if you
Draymond
may have
Green.
what you're gonna say about Dylan Brooks, but the
Yeah.
dude ain't, he'll take his 6
Right.
fouls, 2 points. Because you're
Right.
gonna know he hit. Like we
Yep.
need our guy.
Yeah.
Either that big or someone who just IDGAF, just don't give a
Damn.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And speaking of physical play, this is kind of physical play, but Hallie's Halliburton's father coming onto the court confronting Giannis. Bruh, did you see that? And do you have a take? I certainly have an opinion. I want to hear. I want you to tell the world what you think about that.
Halliburton would have popped that man in the face. Now Halliburton's the one with the fine. So we can't sit up here and be mad at Russell Westbrook when people from the stands are chastising him and he responds from the court in the stands. You can't get mad at Ron Artest for years ago because someone throws something on him. He goes in the stands and teaches them a lesson. So
Right.
now you tell me you're gonna have someone from the stands, dad or not, come onto
Right.
the court and want to get some of this? Like
Right.
he should be banned for the rest of the playoffs and even next year from going to any courts. We see John Morant's dad act the plumb fool
Yeah. Yeah.
every Grizzlies game. But here so there got to be a point where AAU dad, your son is an
Right.
NBA grown ass man.
Right.
You a grown ass man. You can get these hits.
Yeah. I'm glad to hear him apologize, Tyrese Halliburton apologize, and kind of like what you said about referees. You're not the show. It's not why we're going to the games. We shouldn't even be talking about this. Halliburton's father is going to make it bad for every other parent or friend after a game closing or emotional closing game. That could be very tense. As a matter of fact, it could have been a brawl. It could have been a fight right there. Giannis was angry and he showed a lot of restraint. But I believe Halliburton's father is going to make it bad for others. So as far as a fine or levy or punishment, uh, I don't know about being banned for the rest of the series or rest of the playoffs, but something needs to be done. Something should be done because in the end, he is just another fan. I don't care if he's a parent. He's really just another fan. And how would it be wrong for Giannis to punch him? Would it be wrong if you feel threatened? What are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? What are we gonna do? And in an emotional moment, when I don't like losing anyway, and you're gonna come up and talk to me, dog. Would Giannis have been wrong? Yeah, we would have said right now we'd say yeah because he punched an old man. But if an old man come at you, I don't care. I don't care. If an old man come at you, what you gonna do?
Hey, ask
So
Pedro Martinez when Skipper ran out there and Pedro had to give him them hands. And that's baseball. How physical can baseball get? But look, Zimmerman know because Pedro gave him a 1-2 punch. You ask him that. Come see me.
Oh, Robert Yunt with was it Nolan Ryan?
Nolan Ryan, Robert Ventura, your old man strip. So has been set.
Good call. Good call. Good call. But I would like to see that fans should be able to enjoy themselves, but the players need to be protected and be protected from themselves because it is very emotional. We need to make sure that the losing team gets off the court. I'm sure they want to celebrate or not celebrate, excuse me, but congratulate the winner. That's being sportsman, But at some point in time, we got to make sure that the player safety is number one. in
It's
my
a damn
opinion.
shame that we could still have that conversation in 2025. I
Yeah,
mean, we remember in the late mid 90s, Monica Seles got stabbed by a fan on the tennis court.
right.
We had the Ron Artest stuff we spoke about. We had the baseball one year, and the father and son came out of stands and stabbed, I believe, a first baseman. They wanted to fight him or something like that. So I mean, there's
Yeah,
press that where it's like, why are we still having this conversation? Why,
yeah.
when we go to a professional venue, we still have to read the signs of warning, hey, fans, the fans' code of conduct. So to
Yeah.
even know it's not just a fan, but a athlete's father. So now,
Act like you've been there. Act like you've been there
you
before,
know what I'm
man.
saying? I mean, like, come on, dude. Really?
Hey, we're going to transition, man, from the NBA going on to the NFL and the draft in particular. Before we close it out, the prank call, man, is getting a lot of buzz, and if you don't know about it, it's the prank draft call to Shador Sanders. Let's talk about Shador. Let's talk about the prank call. Where are you at, sir?
It's sad, man, that that happened. It's already an emotional day. So there's three ways to look at it. One, kudos to Shador for showing his maturity. Because if you watched him and his brother, they're joking, they're still keeping it light. You remember years ago when Brady Hoke from Notre Dame, he got passed to like the fourth, fifth round, and they kept on showing the camera. You just see him just get deflated. Look, Shador's like, hey, look, man, hey, it is what it is. Well, it's funny. His brother Shiloh said, damn, if they do this to you, what they gonna do to me? So it was great watching them as brothers go through that moment together. So that showed their maturity. Sure. I mean, it hurts. You hear that you should be pre-draft in the first round, all the kind of stuff. But so from that perspective, I give kudos to Shador for his maturity. Man, I slapped that kid in the face, the 21-year-old, not the 13-year-old, not the 16-year-old, a 21-year-old son of the defensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons making a quote unquote prank call to Shador saying, hey, we're going to select you. Then this numbnuts puts it on Instagram. So it's not even like you could deny it. Like you're an
Right,
idiot.
right,
So I am so glad that the NFL, and we talked about what kind of ban. So we just talked about Halliburton's father. NFL said that was inappropriate, inexcusable. So they fined the Atlanta Falcons for 250K, and they fined Obrix, the defensive coordinator, 100K. And I'm
yeah,
like, yeah, feel that. And then, oh boy, got to go apologize on behalf of his family.
right.
How embarrassed he is that his son would take the confidential information from his iPad and use that and weaponize it. So I kudos to the NFL for that. Kudos for the father who happens to also be an NFL coach saying, yo, that was wrong. So
Right.
that's my standpoint on it.
Yeah. So being military, man, I always think OPSEC, COMSEC, man, confidentiality. I'm also medical, some things just can't get out, and so um, I think they got off light, honestly. I think they got off light. Yeah, it was a prank telephone call, but it could have been more severe, if it will. Uh, this is somebody's telephone number, their own number. And isn't it bad enough we get spam calls? Isn't it bad enough we get enough telemarketers calling? But this is, like you say, in an emotional moment. So I would add that to my sentencing. It's a tense moment, it's a high intensity moment, and it should be a moment of joy. And he almost stole it, could have stolen it. What if somebody else is more emotionally fragile? But so when I look at the OPSEC concept aspect of it, the confidentiality aspect, no, they to me, broke law. And so I think they got off easy. I think they got off easy. So I'm not happy with that. And I'm not happy that it happened to anybody, let alone Shador. Because we were told as a public, maybe he was told something privately, but as a public, first round draft pick. Okay, he didn't make it the first, second, third, fourth. Things keep dropping, and then this on top of that, this kind of thing. So I like you, man. I'm thinking, man, this is a good dude. Shador is a good dude. Maybe humbled by this whole process, but how he handled himself was of humility and said, "People, everybody makes mistakes. He's not going to let that other dude be the story." You know what I mean? And let the story be his play on the field because his comments are, listen, this is where I got drafted. He seems to be happy. He's good. I'm on a team. He just got to win the room, the quarterback room. He's got to earn his spot, and it's no longer his dad as the coach. So I'm in his corner because I like to see a rags to riches story. And believe it or not, it happens to be a black guy. So I want to see that process. It may not happen, but that's just my goal, my want for him. But the whole catastrophe, the prank, I think they got off very light, bro. Honestly.
Yeah, yeah, and I like how you spin that on the piece of how severe. I mean, like you said, our military background, that's life or death.
Right.
About confidentiality, and then you're talking about medical piece. So why is this different?
Right.
So it'd be interesting. I guess I am proud that the NFL recognized that what was done was wrong, but to your point, the degree of punishment could have probably been a lot higher to say this will never happen again. To the point, hey, you know what? Thank you all for participating. For that, Atlanta, we're taking the draft pick. Like, let's
yes. Yes.
Okay, this is what we do. We're taking a draft pick.
Yes.
Know, and something like that where, okay, now you feel it. We're gonna take your money and we'll take a draft pick.
Yeah.
So that would have been that would have sent a strong message.
Well, we're going to close it up. Just want to say again to the fans, thank you. It is NHL playoffs. It's NBA playoffs. Baseball is kicking off. We didn't even touch baseball at all. Otani's still the man. And we didn't talk about Travis Hunter being drafted number 2 overall. And will he play offense, defense, how that's going to be spun? We didn't even get there. We started off with fire. We're going to end with fire. We want to know how you're doing. How's your team doing? Where's your fandom at today? We want to know. Hit us up. But we want to say thank you for taking the time out to just listen to us and a couple of old Joes, man, just having fun, cutting it up, doing what we do, talking sports. I'm Dr. Tim Hoover, and I'm out.
Hey, love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. As stated, we have our Instagrams, we have our X, we have the Facebook. Shoot us some notes. We didn't hit it all today, but we'll definitely hit it off in cyberspace. So take care. Enjoy these playoff seasons. See y'all next week. Same time, same place. You know what we do. I'm Dr. Stephen Herman III. I'm out.
Well done, brother. Well done. Good show.
Okay.
It's beating Golden State right now, 49-24 in the second quarter.
What? And Golden State, so this would be the closeout game, right?
Yeah. And Houston ain't having that.
Are they in Houston?
They're in Houston.
Okay, that's time to tune in.